What's up, guys? I'm going to be taking you through today's arm workout. I posted to the Instagram story the full workout already, but there were a few deviations, so I'll bring those to you now with the logic behind why I selected the exercises and rep ranges. And then after this, I will actually show you guys my working sets. So, tricep dominant to start. First exercise I selected was a one-arm pushdown. Stole this one directly from Ben Pakulski's Instagram last week, and I incorporated it last week in my arm day. And I found it was a real good one to start to exhaust from the shortened range to the lengthened range. It's just a mechanical drop set. So starting off next to a cable, you take about 2 to 3 big steps away, and then you're going to be extending across your body, hitting the shortened range till failure, which I selected a weight that was about 6 to 8 reps. And then all it was taking a step in and going to failure again, which ended up being about between 2 and 4 reps. And then one more step in to where I was pretty much right next to the cable. You'll see that in the video. So I worked from the far distance, altered my torso position a little bit with the big step in, took another big step in, and then I was right next to the cable for my last portion of the set. 2 all-out working sets of that as the mechanical drop. Didn't add any additional intensifiers to that one. Then I moved on to a more traditional pushdown. I used 2 long ropes, and as you'll see in the video, I didn't grip the rope itself. I just let them sit in my hands and pushed out to get into the shortened range. 2 working sets of that, aiming for about 8 reps or so. My second set was a neurological overload set. For all of you that don't know the exact terminology of that, it's practically just a triple drop set, reducing weight by about 20 to 30% each time. So 2 working sets of that. Then I moved on to skull crushers. Originally in the workout, I had dumbbell skull crushers, which I've been doing a lot lately, but I made an alteration. Went to straight bar. As you'll see in the video, my elbows don't line up perfectly with the tension, but it was an impulse thing for me. I wanted to do them, and of course my form's still very controlled. Went heavier on those and actually supersetted then with the dumbbell skull crusher of a higher rep. So straight bar, barbell skull crushers, again 2 supersets, aiming for about 6 to 8 reps with the barbell to start. Then I just dropped down, immediately grab my dumbbells for a high rep burnout, a little quicker tempo, but still control out of the bottom, about 10 to 12 reps on that. So that was my superset of the day for triceps. And then my last full movement for triceps was the tricep dip machine. Really good machine here at the University of Scranton gym. So what I did with that was pre-exhausting the triceps with all isolation exercises, exhausting the shortened range with my pushdowns, toward mid-range, even getting some lengthened work in, especially with that first exercise, the mechanical drop. So at this point, I'm totally warm, joints feel good, and I'm able to recruit muscles very well in my tricep. So then I moved on to the dip machine, which gave me an opportunity to move a little bit more weight, which I did. Again, 2 working sets. I'm trying to keep the volume as low as possible, chasing for the perfect set, the perfect rep, and it just adds up. So doing that, in turn, your volume does not need to be as high. So 2 working sets with that, and the last set being another neurological overload, triple drop. And that pretty much, you could end the workout there if you would like to, but after that, I've been experimenting with blood flow restriction training. I bought the blood flow restriction bands a couple of weeks ago, and I've done a few arm and leg workouts with them, and I do like it at the end. It's really good on the joints because your loads will be much lower. So with the blood flow bands, I aim, it's 30 seconds rest in between sets. First set is a set of 30, then a set of 15, followed by another 15 and another 15. All 30 seconds rest in between. What I do with that is after my set, within my 30-second rest periods, I'll just simply do some isometrics. I did it with triceps. With the rope pushdown, I went back to the exact same exercise that I did earlier, of course with a much lighter load for a much higher rep range. So I did that, did my sets, did my isometrics in between, and then that was actually it for triceps. It may seem like a lot of exercises, but when only doing 2 working sets per exercise, it doesn't really add up to much. Granted, your execution should be on point, and you shouldn't feel that you need any more. If you do feel like you need something more, I would first really check your execution. Make sure you're pushing the sets to and beyond failure. If you have a spotter that can give you some quality forced reps, do that, especially when the volume is so low. I like doing that. I had a few sets where I was able to take advantage of a spot. So then I moved on to biceps, and I started with arguably my favorite bicep exercise, the one-arm dumbbell preacher curl. So what I do with the bench at the University of Scranton, it doesn't have a spider curl side. So it just has the traditional slanted preacher side. So what I do is there is a small black pad that's used for abdominal training or anything else. I also use it on seated cable rows. But what I do is I put it on the preacher bench to create more of a spider curl feel. Because on this particular bench, in the past, I've used it just as a preacher bench. And when I get to the top, I feel like I lose all tension. I can just stay there all day. So what I did with adding the pad, making that slight alteration, the tension at the top stays much truer. So what I did was 2 sets of just one-arm dumbbell preacher curls. You'll see those. And then after that, I experimented with bands. And the beauty of that exercise is with the dumbbell preacher curl, your tension is going to be much greater at the bottom of the range because of gravity. Dumbbells pulling straight down to the floor, and you're going to be really exhausted in that lengthened range. So what adding the band would do I would keep a little slack at the bottom, no tension from the band at the bottom of the movement. But then as I contract, the band will get taut and the tension will increase at the top of the movement. So you're getting the best of both worlds. The dumbbell giving you the tension at the bottom, the band giving you the tension at the top. And what I did with that was, after I failed with this dumbbell and the band, I would just release the tension on the band, just let it go with the dumbbell. So then I would just get about, again, maybe 2-3 additional reps to extend the set of just the dumbbell. Those are some techniques that I like to do, whether I can alter my body position or alter the equipment I'm using to the point where I could get a few extra reps and extend that set past failure. So 2 sets with just the dumbbell, and then 2 sets dumbbell and the band if you have it. If you don't have the band, you could either add an additional set with just a dumbbell, or if you would like, back off and wait, aim for a little bit of a higher rep range with the dumbbell. But the band really does add a great element to the exercise. Moved on to a machine preacher curl. I do like this machine at the University of Scranton. The independent handles are good, which allow you to reach the level of supination that's comfortable to where you could really line up your humerus and your radius and ulna. So the tension on this exercise is very good as well. Usually I will keep 2 preacher movements in. I would probably say 80-90% of the time we'll start with the dumbbells and then transition to the machine. The machine is a good substitute to do maybe an additional set or 2 if you don't have the band available for the dumbbell preacher, because the way the cam's set up on this machine, tension is going to be really great at the top, which simulates what we were doing with the band and the dumbbell previously. So 2 sets of that with a neurological overload set on the second. And then after that, I went for a little bit more work in the length and range for the bicep. I hit incline dumbbell curls, about a 35-degree incline on the bench, not too flat, not too sharp as well. 2 sets of those with the neurological overload set on the second one. I have that set in the video. And finally, I went back to blood flow restriction training for biceps. I just did a traditional easy bar cable curl. I don't have this on video, didn't have anyone to record my set on this one, but I used the exact same principle that I did for triceps. 30 seconds rest in between sets with a 30 rep set, the first set, followed by 15, 15, and 15. Again, in between the sets during that 30-second rest period, doing some isometrics, contracting, stretching the muscle, and then getting back into. I really am a fan of blood flow restriction training for triceps and biceps over the past few weeks, as well as on my quad and hamstring days, incorporating them for exercises such as leg extensions and lying leg curls. So blood flow restriction, I haven't gotten too much into the data behind it, but definitely from an injury prevention or rehab standpoint, using sub-maximal loads, but cutting off blood flow back to the body allows you to keep all the lactic acid built up in the muscle. So it will prevent you from moving maximum loads, which in turn takes the pressure off your joints, but still getting a feel that you would from a heavier set on the same exercise. But like I said, due to blood flow being restricted and the lactic acid buildup, you're getting pretty much the same feel. So that was today's arm workout. Pretty good for me, but if there are any adjustments to volume, I would have to say don't add. Definitely do not add to this, because I've been at a point where I used to do extreme amounts of volume for my arms, and I would wonder why they wouldn't be responding as well as I would like. But what I did was get back to the drawing board, improve my execution first. Think about selecting exercises that work for you. Look for exercises that are braced and that have a great tension profile that lines up directly with the muscle you're trying to work. So that's the biggest thing I think that have really helped me bring up my arms probably in the past 2 to 3 months. Proper exercise selection, and then once I have those exercises selected, work on execution first. And then once execution is nailed down, then begin loading it. And then look to overload in coming weeks in those same exercises. So I hope you guys enjoyed this arm workout. I will have the videos linked right after this. It'll show most of my top sets. I might have a set or two omitted, like I said, if I didn't have someone to record my set or something like that, or if I needed a spot for forced reps on a particular exercise. But I hope you guys enjoyed this arm workout. There will be future workouts to be posted with full training logic. I don't want to just provide workouts for you guys with no rhyme or reason why I'm selecting these exercises and rep ranges. And I would also like to be able to explain to you how you can use these to your advantage and really separate what exercises can fit the majority of people versus ones that might fit you and is way more individualistic, to the point where I can't really select an exercise perfectly across the internet like this. It would take a personal consultation, but I'll keep providing my workouts. So beginning with arms, and I hope you guys enjoy the arm workout, and keep the comments coming. Love it, hate it, anywhere in between. Let me know what you would like me to improve on, talk more about, talk less about. But as of now, enjoy the arm workout I have listed for you guys.
Mike. Just play with it. No, not weird. I'm just saying. Spots on the drops? Might as well. Just be aware.
I didn't know if you're okay.
It's just like my hand, so.
Yeah. I didn't know if you're doing like 5, 3, 1, but you're just single ball. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, it's okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Like that's what I was saying about like it's day 2, so
Yeah.
not as big a deal. Yeah.
drops it. Okay, right around. Yeah. Perfect, perfect. Yeah. Beautiful.
You ever watch Naruto?
What's up?
You ever watch Naruto?
Yeah, when I was younger.
I never watched it, so I just started watching it today.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix, so.
Yeah, I started watching it like during my freshman year, and I forgot how like drawn out the whole process was. They literally spent like 10 episodes in one fight scene.
Yeah. Like, it's not as bad as Dragon Ball, though. Dragon Ball is pretty bad with that.
Yeah.
Super only has 3 more episodes.
Drop man.
I haven't been able to watch anything in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, should we record your class? No, probably not. What do you want? I was saying, I only class for 3, so. We had to sit in the window until Friday because I just happened to have class this morning.